Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 269. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2019, and I'm glad you could join me today. I wonder if you guys can hear the fan. I turned the fan on high. It seems louder than my voice. And today is brought to you by the magic of ginger tea. So, I have been, oddly enough, drinking the same bag of ginger tea all day, and it still makes ginger tea. So, it's mysterious, but I do not question its mystery. It just keeps giving. So, yesterday I felt super duper awful. Today I ended up staying home from work, but I feel much more human today. So I think I have an appropriate strategy to both podcast and return to work tomorrow. So this will be good. As you do. But I may be slurping loudly because part of my strategy is ginger tea. So I think I'll start off this week's episode with something that I can go no further on. So I ended up running out of yarn mid-row on my sleeve. And did I show this last week? Did this happen last week? Or did this happen the week before? Now I'm filled with doubt. But it's still very much so in my mind. So I have this little bitty tail here, and then I have this tail here, and neither of these things are going to get a full row of sweater knit to begin with. But this one was, 2.5 short of the other guy, probably. If we line it all up. Oh no, it might have been a little bit more than that. Yeah, no, it's 2.5. 2.5. It was 5 rows short of the other guy. I separated by weight, but that doesn't mean that my density was consistent while I was making this yarn. So, this sweater is at an impasse, and it's holding a lot of my interchangeable cables, which is a problem because that means I can't really start anything new. But here's my breathing space with random yarn barf, because, I care. So here's the front, here's the back, it's all asymmetric. Excuse me. And it is not yet complete. So I don't know if I would make any modifications to this bad boy. But the yarn is coming, so I'm working on it, so it's positive. But this is been zipped up in my bag and probably won't come out again until I finish the backup yarn. So I probably should have ordered the backup yarn when I started making the sweater, but sometimes I'm a proud creature and think that it'll work out okay anyways. So there is that. I didn't end up starting anything new this week in a surprise move. I did carry around the basil yarn with me in my white bag all week long, but I didn't make it to the point of casting on. Whatever, such is life. What did get a decent amount of love, because it was my only knitting project, in my mysterious happy rainbow bird bag, was my Luna Moth shawl. So Luna Moth and I have come to an agreement of sorts, though stitches falling off the needles wasn't a part of that agreement. Okay. I'll have to fix that. May as well just fix it now. So, I have figured out where the markers need to be in order to facilitate the appropriate stitch marker placement, and the stitch markers do need to move in between halves of the pattern, but now that makes sense. And as I was looking at the chart, I did realize what had happened that had caused the awkwardness. So maybe the designer made a choice to try to make the stitches that were supposed to be on top of each other line up, but then ended up causing different issues because of that. So I am almost done with yet another repeat. So I think I worked 1.5 repeats, I think, in this past week. So it's definitely growing. You can see how open it is, especially when we use the wall as a background. It's really cool, not gonna lie. Because of the stainless steel yarn, its lace is extremely open with zero effort whatsoever. But this is going to begin to have the normal lace project problem, which is that the shawl is going to be way bigger than the needles can easily hold, which has resulted in some stitches falling off. As long as it's not too much, I guess I'm not too worried. So I am less angry about this project now that I know where my markers are supposed to be. And I haven't run out of markers yet, because these are ones that I think I made for DFW Fiberfest a while ago, or actually I think I made these for SSK 2015. So these markers have been kicking around the stash for a while. So I'm about ready to start the last pattern row of the repeat, and then nice easy pearl black, and then I'll be back to the easy to read section of the chart. So this project is a part of the Knit the Precious Cal. Obviously enough, I have neglected to post this week in the thread, but I encourage you guys to post in the thread. I have neglected to hashtag this project on Instagram, and that's just silly of me. So it turns out that Knit the Precious Cal is not a taken hashtag, so that's what I'm using. I should follow this hashtag. So, I don't know. A lot of my favorite pursuits are associated with Instagram, so at least that's where all the pictures live. This has resulted in my aunt blocking me on Facebook because she was tired of seeing all the knitting pictures. She didn't even see them all. I don't post all of my knitting photos to Facebook. Just, or would it be when I buy yarn? That doesn't get posted to Facebook. That's something I just share with you guys and whoever follows me on Instagram. So this is Luna Moth Shawl. The designer is, not that somewhere I will see the designer's name. Shui Kwon Kazinski. Shui Kwon Kazinski. I don't know why that's so hard to say. Now that I'm speaking out loud, I obviously do not sound like normal. Whatever. So, I am definitely beginning to see signs that I am using up the yarn, so I can now see cardboard on my tube of, so this is Lion brand wool silks, and I don't know, I don't actually remember breakdown. But we have a thing. It is 75% wool, 25% stainless steel. And then this is a Lawn Silken Kid, and it's definitely looking much depleted from before. Bizarrely this week, the steel has broken twice. I would have totally expected the mohair silk to break, but nope. For some reason, it's just a little bit more brittle. Not like it's the end of the world. So I think I have a decent joining method in place in order to keep things contained. And considering that both yarns are really, really stinking light, they're both extremely thin. The mohair silk adds the halo, and that adds the body, for sure. But it's just so light and fluffy. It's just sort of amazing. So, what is it? So there's going to be 28 grams of this wool silk, and there's going to be 50 grams of the wool stainless, and there's going to be 50 grams of the what have you. And it's going to be, well, it will be less than a 600 yard shawl, but it's definitely going to be probably a 550, I would say. So, whatever I run out of first. So that has been my only project, and I'm not going to run out of knitting anytime soon on it, so that's positive. But yeah, no, I have realized that I need to get a decent amount of work done on my replacement yarn. So I have to finish bobbins. So finish this guy. I think I had just begun this one last week, but I managed to finish it up today. Yesterday was pretty miserable. I think I maybe did like 10 minutes of spinning and did 2 rows on my shawl and then passed off the whip tag. I managed to finish the spinning on this guy, and shouldn't be too crazy. I started the spinning on the final third. So what I did was I broke up, so this is Mass Superwash Merino Silk in the Mistletoe colorway. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit lighter, but hopefully it doesn't matter because of stripes. And then I've started spinning the other part, but I will need to simply pull that off very carefully. I don't even know why I brought my wheel upstairs. So this is how far I am on the second bobbin. So not too crazy. I'll probably get further on it as time allows today. I am back on my own again for a few days, and then Literacy Level 1 is coming back Friday. So he'll be around for my birthday weekend, which will be nice. Hopefully we won't do anything too strenuous. We shall see. But yeah, so not super duper exciting spinning. I have, what was it? I ended up sleeping in like another 4 hours after my alarm woke off, and I made the call that I wasn't going into work. Like yesterday it involved like maximum effort standing to figure out how I was going to sit down, holding my cup of ginger tea. Today has not been nearly that bad. so that's probably fine. The other thing that got a decent amount of work done on it was my fleece preparation. So these are a sort of, I don't even really know how to describe this color. They have, like, in some lights they look like a foresty green. Right now I'm getting a very strong sense of purple off them, and what you're seeing on the camera appears to be sort of in the navy blue. It's very strange. But I am almost done combing this stuff. So this is probably 1 or 2 more combfuls of it, and then I'm gonna wash this because it's like covered in mysterious green fuzz and other such nonsense. So we'll see how far I get. Maybe it might be just 2 more balls of top instead of 1 more ball of top. I might just split it in half and just do it as 2 more balls of top. But considering that standing in low maximum effort, I wasn't going to finish processing that part of the fleece. Whatever. But it is so close to being done, it's very happy. So I will have 2 more sections to comb. For some reason it seems like I'm having way more waste in this batch. I'm not entirely sure why. Or it just seems, maybe by weight it's the same, but by volume it seems completely different. I don't know. So hopefully that won't be too crazy. It'd be really nice to be done. And then the other thing that I got to work on, so DFW Fiber Fest is coming up, and I am working on stitch markers to swap. So I don't know, probably have about 24 at this point. And I've just sort of been entertaining myself with what I've been making. So I've been making a lot of these with lobster claw, but I also have the earring back ones as well. Because I had some left over from last year's supplies. I still have quite a lot to go. So I've used up all of these brown plastic beads with hearts on them, and I am now doing a combination of ones with glass beads and seed beads, and then these bigger ones. And then I probably should use up the corally ones as well. So I've made a couple of each of the styles, and we'll figure out what people like. So I'll probably end up, it may be the case where I end up transferring these to be on the other end of the holder and then slip on maybe the more traditional loopy ones. But I actually sort of wanted to be as crochet friendly as possible with these, and so these little lobster claws are much more convenient for that. So you can get them off, and then you can more easily mark crochet with these ones. Probably these earring back ones are probably the easiest by far. So I have like 1 more Friday night, I think, of making these, and then I'll call it quits. I have 20 more lobster backs to go, but that shouldn't be too crazy. And obviously what I have to give away are there has to be at least some blue content in the stitch markers I give away. So, not too crazy. So, I think it's going to be a fairly short episode this week, but such is life. I was afraid I wasn't even going to record this week, but then I was feeling pretty good tonight. So, it wasn't going to be crazy crafting, though there might be slightly more crafting, we'll see. Or less crafting, because I'll be panicking and trying to move things to a storage place. Who knows? I don't think I'm up for it today. So, I don't know. It's been a chill week, as you do. So, I should be able to record next week. It's probably gonna be on the Sunday. I probably did have time on Saturday and would have felt much more human, but whatever. Saturday was slightly more exciting than what would it be? I was much more human on Saturday. I was miserable all day Sunday, and ibuprofen is your friend, and ginger tea. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.